Okay, test. Hello, hello. Can anybody hear me? Ya, okay. Okay, nampaknya you guys dua yang masuk kelas hari ni. So, okay. So, macam mana? Mau saya continue kah? Sebab saya mau record sekejap nanti lesson ni. Atau mau macam mana kah? Mau ikut sekejap? Okay, so saya proceed sekejap lah. Tapi saya sambil record ni. So, saya akan record ni dan send video ni untuk dalam group nantilah. So, mana kawan-kawan yang tak masuk kelas hari ni, so boleh tengok lah. So, okay lah. So, kita proceed je lah kelas hari ni ya. So, okay. Good morning everyone. So, okay, what I want you guys to do first, make sure your textbooks is with you. Ada textbooks kah dekat sebelah? It's okay if you haven't gotten your textbooks beside you. You can get it now. And turn to page 22. You guys can see kan what on the screen, right? Can you guys see this? Okay. Okay, so turn to page 22 and 23. So, okay. So first, first we need to look at the title first. Let's see what this page is all about, yeah? So first, we see at the title. What is the title? Anyone? What is the title? Johanna? Hello? So okay, very good. So the title is The Things People Will Do. So agak-agak daripada tajuk Syak kan. So just from seeing or from reading the title, what do you think it means? What do you think the text is? Kita dengar Syak, kita baca The Things People Will Do. Apa maksudnya? The things, benda-benda yang orang akan buat. So okay. So benda-benda yang orang akan buat. So benda-benda apa yang orang akan buat. So macam tak cukup idea di situ kan. Tak cukup konteks. So next kita tengok lagi gambar dia. So ada gambar apa dekat situ? Tengok yang dekat sebelah kanan. Yang ada abang lelaki tu. Okay. So yang abang lelaki tu, tengok baju dia ya. Look at this shirt. What do you think he is? He wears some sort of uniform, right? So agak-agak uniform apa? Polis? Bomba? Cadet polis? JRS? Yes, he is a firefighter. He is a fireman. So abang bomba lah. So you can see that he is locked. So dia terkunci di dalam satu bekas kontena yang diangkat tinggi ya. Diangkat di atas di tepi bangunan. So it is a few feet above the ground. So dia ada beberapa kaki di atas tanah. So these are the things that people will do. So apa kena mengena benda-benda yang orang akan buat, the things people will do dengan gambar ni. So okay, tak apa. So di situ kita sudah dapat general idea yang the things people will do, it refers to something that is quite dangerous. Kalau you guys lah, so if you guys got locked in a container hanging by the crane a few meters above the ground. So kalau kamu dikunci di dalam sebuah kontena yang duduknya yang berada di beberapa kaki di atas tanah. So kamu rasa benda tu bahaya ke tidak? Bahaya kan? So it is dangerous, is it? So it is dangerous. So okay, the things people will do. Okay, so he is doing something dangerous. Tapi okay, so for now kita dapatlah general idea yang the things people will do, and tengok daripada gambar it is something that is dangerous. Tapi kenapa dia buat benda-benda macam ni? Kenapa dia lock himself? Kenapa dia kuncikan diri dia di dalam sebuah container atas beberapa kaki? And then you can see, what else you can see down there? There are people, right? There are people looking at him from below, right? You can see this one. Okay, you can see this one. There are multiple peoples. There are a crowd of people. Maksudnya ramai lah. Ramai orang tengok. Alamak. Ramai orang tengok dia daripada bawah. Sekejap ya. Okay, so you can see that a lot of people is seeing him from below. So okay, so next kita pergi teks dia. So teks dia. Okay, okay, so I let you guys to read the first 2 paragraph, and then the next paragraph saya akan baca lah. So okay, so first siapa nak first paragraph? First dengan second paragraph siapa? Siapa mau baca? So can you read it? Anyone? Johanna? Roselyn? Hello. So okay, tak apalah, saya baca lah. So okay, tengok first paragraph ya. So look at the first paragraph. So okay, so there are thousands of charities and non-profit organizations. So charities ni apa? Charities ni macam charities organizations lah. So macam kalau dalam bahasa Melayu kita panggil sebagai badan-badan kebajikan. So badan-badan kebajikan ni, we have a lot of charities organization here in Malaysia. So kita ada banyak badan-badan kebajikan. So we have badan-badan kebajikan anak yatim, we have badan-badan kebajikan untuk orang-orang tua. Kita ada badan kebajikan untuk pesara-pesara perang atau pesara-pesara tentera. So these are charities organizations. So these charities organizations exist. They exist. These charities organizations, they exist in order to help those who are in need. So dia ada specific purpose charity organization ni. So it is to help a certain people. So dia akan help certain people, like maybe for the elderly person, orang-orang tua, for anak yatim, for orphans. Yeah. Okay, next. Competition is fierce and they have to think about imaginative ways to raise money. Kenapa dia cakap competition is fierce? Sebab for charities organization, untuk diorang dapatkan duit, for them to gain money from donations, the main source of income is from donations. So duit diorang akan dapat adalah daripada derma. So bila diorang nak dapat derma, so diorang buat fundraising event. So diorang akan buat fundraising event untuk ajak orang untuk menderma. So okay, next. So a popular trend recently has been for charities to attract the help of members of society who do all sorts of weird and wonderful activities to raise money on their behalf. People are prepared to do unusual and even extreme things for this cause. So daripada first paragraph, from paragraph 1, you can see that people, in order to collect charity, in order untuk kumpul derma, they would do something that is unusual or even weird things in order to attract other people's attention, in order to get them to donate for their cause. So diorang akan buat benda-benda yang macam benda-benda yang challenging lah, benda-benda yang boleh viral, benda-benda yang boleh attract attention, boleh tarik minat orang untuk tengok apa yang dia buat. So bila ramai orang tengok, bila ramai orang dapat tahu apa yang dia buat, so diorang akan lebih cenderung untuk menderma lah. So it is a way for them to be known by the things that they do, and at the same time they can also menimbulkan kesedaran lah, mengajak orang lain untuk menderma, yeah. So it's depending on what they are. It depends on their cause lah. Their cause tu, for example, okay. So next, for contoh-contoh dia, kita tengok next paragraph, okay. So okay, look at the second paragraph, okay. So let's second paragraph, okay. David Hunt, who is a firefighter. Okay, Abang Bomba. So dialah ni yang dalam gambar dekat sebelah kanan ni, yang dalam kontena merah ni. So dialah ni, David Hunt, a firefighter. So apa yang dia buat? He did something of the kind in 2010. So dia ada buat benda ni lah pada tahun 2010. So he spent 48 hours without any food, locked in a glass box, which was hanging 30 feet in the air from a crane above central London. So, okay. So kita tahu yang David Hunt ni dia buat benda-benda macam ni. So dia kuncikan diri dia di dalam sebuah kontena 30 feet above the air. So 30 feet above the air is 30 kaki. 30 kaki di atas udara. Dan bergantung di atas kontena lah. Bergantung di atas, ya, di dalam kontena. Dan dia buat di tengah-tengah kota London. He did it at above central London. So di atas lah, di tengah-tengah city. So London ni ibu kota. So there will be a lot of people in the middle of the city. So bila ramai orang, dia buat stunt dia ni, dia buat challenge dia ni dekat tempat yang ramai orang. So ramai orang akan nampak. So you can see from the picture that there are people who are looking at him from below. So ada orang ramai yang akan tengok dia daripada bawah. Okay. So his unusual challenge was certainly not easy. Ya, tidak mudah ya berada di dalam kontena tu, but it successfully gained a lot of attention. So dia dapat attention lah. So dia dapat attract orang untuk tengok apa yang dia buat. Dan pada masa yang sama, so dorang boleh tahu yang dia buat ni untuk apa. So he did that to collect charity. So when they see that he did that dangerous, unusual thing untuk collect dana, dia buat benda-benda bahaya untuk collect dana, so people akan rasa macam nak donate. People akan rasa macam, tak apalah aku donate lah, macam kesian pula dia begini kan. Lagipun macam respect lah sebab dia sanggup buat benda-benda yang berbahaya ni. So it is a respect for them as well lah, because mereka sanggup buat benda-benda berbahaya macam ni in order to collect for charity. So dia memang niat yang baik lah. So okay, okay, next, with a little help from another firefighter who was on the ground. So dia ada kawan dia lah, ada Abang Bomba juga, another firefighter yang dekat bawah. So they managed to persuade the public in order to support their cause by making donations that added up to over £5,000. So diorang dapatlah convince orang ramai yang ada dekat central London tu untuk bantu, untuk donate dekat diorang punya charity organisation lah. So diorang dapat kumpul berapa banyak? Berapa banyak duit diorang dapat kumpul? Diorang dapat kumpul sebanyak diorang dapat kumpul sebanyak over 5,000 pounds. So 5,000 pounds banyak tu. So okay lah. So the chosen charities were the Firefighters Charity and Cancer Research UK. So itulah dua charity organizations yang diorang nak dermakan duit tu. Okay. So the first charity organization is the Firefighters Charity. Yeah. Pusat Kebajikan Bomba. And also Cancer Research UK. Pusat Penyelidikan Kanser United Kingdom. So itu adalah dua ya badan-badan kebajikan yang diorang nak derma. Okay. Okay, next. Third paragraph. It is not just the young who have gone up high to raise money for charity. In 2009, Kay Matthews, who was 90 at the time, went to Norfolk, UK to skydive from a plane 30,000 feet above the ground for a war victims charity. She raised about 3,000 pounds. Few people are brave enough to go skydiving, let alone an elderly woman, but she loved every minute of it. So first kita ada David Hunt. Second paragraph tadi kan. So first kita ada David Hunt. So David Hunt is a firefighter. So David Hunt is a firefighter who locked himself in the container. So the second one. So this is the second one lah. We have the name is Kay Matthews. So nama makcik ni Kay Matthews lah. So she did it in 2009. Who was 90 at the time? Who was 90 at the time maksudnya? Apa yang 90? So 92 refers to Yohana? It 90 tahun. Okay, very good. So it refers to umur. Okay? It refers to umur Kay Matthews. Umur dia 90 tahun. So she went to Norfolk, UK to skydive from a plane 30,000 feet above the ground. So Kay Matthews ni dia umur 90. So dia pergi Norfolk, UK, dia pergi skydive daripada sebuah kapal 13,000 feet above the ground. So dia buat skydiving yang tingginya 13,000 kaki daripada atas tanah. Dia nak derma untuk siapa? Okay, she wants to donate it to for a war victims charity. Tengok kat situ. Okay, yang lepas dia kata yang dia skydive daripada plane 13,000 feet tu. So he did that in order to collect charity. She did that in order to collect charity for the war victims. So itulah pusat kebajikan yang dia nak derma lah. So she raised about 3,000 pounds. So banyak jugalah dia dapat. So dia dapat derma, dia dapat kumpul sebanyak 3,000 pounds. So few people are brave enough to go skydiving, let alone an elderly woman, but she loved every minute of it. So skydiving, ada yang berani kah skydiving? Do any of you have tried skydiving before? Ada yang no? Ada yang pernah hiking, selalu hiking kah? No. Okay, tak apa. Saya pun hiking sekali-sekala siap. Tapi skydiving tak pernah lagi lah. Tapi kalau kamu lah, if you are given a chance, if you are given a chance to go skydiving, would you go? Kalau kamu dibagi peluang untuk skydiving, mau pergi kah? Sanggupkah kamu untuk lompat daripada plane 13,000 kaki daripada atas tanah untuk kutip derma? Tidak kan? Tidak semua. Tidak semua. Not everyone has the bravery untuk buat skydiving tu kan. Tapi that is something that you know yang buat kita respect lah dekat K. Matthews ni. Sebab K. Matthews ni, she is a 90-year-old grandma. Nenek-nenek sudah. Tapi dia pergi skydiving. Sanggup skydiving. Tuak-tuak. Semata-mata untuk kumpul derma. Kumpul derma untuk siapa? Kumpul derma untuk pesara-pesara perang. War victims. Mangsa-mangsa perang. So, itulah. So, itu yang kita respect lah K. Matthews ni. So, walaupun dia tua, umur 90 tahun, dia pergi skydiving, tapi she enjoys. You can see at the last sentence there, but she loved every minute of it. So, even though she was old, she was 90 years old, cruise, tua-tua, pergi skydiving, but she loved. She enjoy every minute of skydiving. Tapi kalau seumur 90 tahun buat skydiving, serasa memang dah masuk kubur lah. So, ada ke? Next paragraph. So, okay. Sekarang kita dah cover 2 kan? So, ada 2 orang. So, first one. So, the first is David Han, Abang Bomba tadi. So, the second one is K. Matthews, the grandma. Okay. So, let's see on paragraph 4. Others prefer to stay firmly on the ground but still no further away from danger. Like Nick Les Swift. So, ini orang ketiga lah. Contoh yang dia bagi. So, siapakah Nick Les Swift ni? Who is Nick Les Swift? So, Nick Les Swift is a 67-year-old businessman who lives in Melbourne, Australia. So, in 2010, he decided to spend 3 weeks, 3 minggu ya, living in a shop window with 400 deadly spiders in order to raise money for a children's charity. So next kita ada Nick Les Swift lah. So Nick Les Swift, who is Nick Les Swift? He is a businessman. Businessman. Where does he live? He lives in Melbourne, Australia. So, what did he do? He spends 3 weeks living in a shop window with 400 deadly spiders. So, okay. You guys tahu kah what does the meaning of a shop window? Macam jarang dengar kan? So, okay. So, a shop window tu macam, do you know a display case yang macam yang dekat kalau you guys pergi shopping mall ke tepi-tepi Sabindo tu ke yang ada patung-patung tu? Yang ada display tu dekat tepi-tepi berkaca. So, that is one of the shop windows lah. One of the example of shop windows lah. So, it is a rectangular place where you have windows all around. So, dia ada tempat segi empat, kaca. And then, dia letak kau di situ, di dalam, bersama 400 deadly spiders. So, deadly spiders ni, mestilah deadly. Kalau deadly, mesti venomous. So, mesti venomous, mesti bahayalah. So, 400 deadly spiders tu. Saya nampak satu pun saya takut sudah satu spiders. Ni 400. Dalam satu tempat yang kecil. A glass window. A shop window. So, dia nak, okay. So, he did that in order to raise charity for a children's charity. So, Nick Les Swift ni dia buat untuk bagi derma, dia buatlah benda ni untuk bagi derma dekat pusat-pusat kebajikan kanak-kanak. So, ini dia mau bagi pusat kebajikan kanak-kanak pula. So, Okay, next kita tengok sentence seterusnya. Next sentence. The real life Spider-Man wasn't at all nervous as he slept among his 8-legged friends. So, okay. So, first kita tengok dulu. The real life Spider-Man. Siapa the real life Spider-Man di sini? Siapa yang dia maksudkan the real life Spider-Man? So, okay. So, the real life Spider-Man yang dia maksudkan ni, si Nick Leswef tu lah. Dia gelar dia Spider-Man, the real life Spider-Man sebab dia sanggup, dia berani. Dia berani untuk tinggal di dalam, tinggal sendiri dengan 400 deadly spiders. So, diorang gelar lah dia the real life Spider-Man. And dia tak nervous ya. Walaupun ada 400, dia sendiri ada 400 laba-laba dekatnya. Tapi dia tak nervous lah, dia tak takut. As he slept among his 8-legged friends. So 8-legged friends dia tu kawan-kawan laba-laba dia lah. And also he survived the experience unharmed. So dia spend a certain moment of time dengan 400 laba-laba and dia tak kena sengat pun. Dia tak kena gigit lah pun laba-laba tu. And dia dapat raising $50,000. So daripada event, daripada challenge yang dia buat tu, daripada actions yang dia buat tu, dia dapat kutip dana sebanyak $50,000. Banyak tu. So okay, the spiders however weren't so lucky. So apa jadi dengan laba-laba tu? Nah, spiders laba-laba tu tak beruntung sangat lah. Kalau si Nick Leswef tu walaupun dia stay dengan 400 laba-laba tu, dia tak kena gigit kan. Tapi apa yang jadi dengan 400 laba-laba tu? The spiders weren't so lucky as by the end of the challenge, a few of them had started eating each other. So, walaupun ada 400 laba-laba tu, Nick Leswef tu dia tak ada kena gigit apa-apa, dah kena gigit laba-laba. Tapi 400 laba-laba tu yang ada dengan dia di dalam tempat yang dia terperangkap tu, they started eating each other. So laba-laba tu makan sesama sendiri. 400 laba-laba tu makan sesama sendiri. Yeah? So it is something that is extraordinary lah. So it is something that is interesting. So okay, next. Raising money for charity. Last paragraph ya. Raising money for charity is also popular with students. Alison Bishop from Middleton School in Peterborough, UK, decided to do her bit for charity by doing a sponsored silence in March 2011. She spent a whole school day without saying a word. She had to write things down in class and she wore a sign saying, "Please don't speak to me. I am doing a sponsored silence for the National Deaf Children's Association." So it was quite difficult, but she managed to raise £874. So okay. So first kita ada David Han. Tadi. First kita ada David Han, Abang Bomba, the fireman. Second we have Kay Matthews. So Kay Matthews is the grandma who was 90 years old. Okay. So the third one we have Nick Leswef. Third one we have Nick Leswef. He is a 67-year-old businessman. Nick Leswef ni yang spend time with 400 deadly spiders tu lah. And then the last one we have Alison Bishop. So Alison Bishop ni, she is a student. Kan? So Alison Bishop ni, she is a student from where? Dia pelajar sekolah mana? Okay, betul. Correct. So Alison Bishop ni, dia seorang pelajar perempuan from Middleton School in Peterborough, UK. Middleton School ni sekolah lah yang dekat Peterborough, UK tu. And then she decided to do her bit of charity by doing a sponsored silence. So she spent a whole school day without saying a word. So apa yang Ellison Bishop ni buat in order to raise charity untuk apa, untuk kutip derma. So dia buat dia buatlah uh, dia set satu hari school day tu dia tak nak bercakap. Dia tak mau bercakap. Dia tak mau bercakap satu perkataan pun. Sampai dia buat apa? So sampai dia buat dia tak boleh bercakap. So bila dia tak boleh bercakap, kalau dia mau kasih tahu orang something, if she wants to tell other people anything lah, anything apa-apa je lah. What would she do? She would write. Dia akan tulis lah. So dia akan tulis dekat kertas. Okay? So dia sorry. she would write things on a piece of paper and then show it to other people lah. So that way she wouldn't have to talk. So sebab dia buat sponsored silence kan. Sponsored silence is the action where you didn't have you won't speak for a whole day. So that is what Ellison Bishop did lah. So dia spend satu hari dekat sekolah tanpa cakap satu perkataan pun. And then she had to write things down. So untuk sampaikan information dekat siapa-siapa kawan dia ke siapa-siapa. So dia buat, dia tulislah dekat kertas tu. And then dia juga she also wore a sign saying, "Please don't speak to me. I'm doing a sponsored silence for the National Deaf Children's Association." Sampai dia buat ada sign tau, sign cardboard. Dia pakai yang letak dekat leher tu, sign cardboard yang tulis, "Don't speak to me. Jangan bercakap dengan saya. Saya buat charity sekian-sekian." So people takkan bercakap dengan dia. So diorang akan faham lah kenapa budak ni tak bercakap. Sebab dia buat charity. So orang tahulah dia buat charity. Bukan sebab dia bisu ke apa. Ya. So orang tahu dia buat charity. Okay. Okay. So sebab apa dia okay. So it was quite difficult but she managed to raise 874 pounds. So berbaloi jugalah dia dah bercakap satu hari. So dia dah bercakap satu hari, dia dapat attract people untuk menderma dan dia dapat kumpul duit sebanyak 874 pound. So okay, begitulah. So apa kaitannya the things people will do? The things people will do dengan cerita-cerita kita tadi. Yang cerita-cerita David Hunt kita, yang Abang Bomba kita, cerita-cerita K. Matthews kita, yang apa the 90-year-old grandma who went to skydive. We have Nicholas Swift and also Ellison Bishop. Apa kena mengena the things people will do? So these are the things people will do for a certain purpose. For a certain purpose. The things people will do for charity. The things people will do in order to help others. So mereka ni David Hunt, siapa lagi? K. Matthews, The Grandma ya, Nicholas Swift, Ellison Bishop. So diorang sanggup buat benda-benda yang dangerous ni, benda-benda yang unusual, benda-benda yang weird, yang pelik, semata-mata untuk menggalakkan orang untuk menderma. So this is something that is, a very good intentions lah. Something that is a very good example for us to follow. So this is the thing that we respect these people lah. So okay. Next. Okay. Okay. Look at page 23. Kejap ya. Allah. Okay. So okay, look at page 23. So sir nak bagi kamu kerja rumah lah. So buat so I want you guys to do homework lah for this page lah. Tak banyak pun. It's just a very simple one. You only need to do C, D and E. 3 tu sejak. Grammar tu tak apa, nanti kita pergi next class. C, D and E ya. Page 23. So okay. Tak apa dulu lah. So, kita review dulu soalan dia. Tengok C. Look at C. Read the text again and complete the table below. So we have the name. So list out lah. Name dia siapa? So kita ada tadi siapa? Kita ada Nicholas Webb. Kita ada Kevin. David Han. Abang bomba kita. Okay, Matthews and who's? Okay, Alison Bishop. Ya, kita ada Alison Bishop. So kita ada 4 orang ni. So letaklah bila diorang buat, when, di mana. So contohnya David Han, dia buat di Central London. For which charity? Charity mana, charity organisation mana yang diorang mau derma duit tu. Berapa banyak duit yang diorang dapat, money raised. Money raised ni, itulah berapa banyak kutipan derma yang diorang dapat kumpul. Okay. And okay, tengok last column tu, what they did. What they did is apa yang diorang buat lah. So contoh macam David Han tadi, dia stay in a container 30 feet. He locked in a glass box which was hanging 30 feet in the air. So tu simple je lah. You guys boleh buat je kan. So okay. So tengok di, look at the highlighted words in the text and try to guess what they mean. Then match them with meanings we want to add below. So a difficult task. So okay, ni you guys tahulah kan. Okay. So dekat text tu page 23 kita ada certain words lah yang kena highlight kan. Kita ada weird, kita ada challenge, kita ada attention, kita ada support, ground, brave, deadly and unharmed. So daripada perkataan-perkataan yang highlight tu, mana yang sama maksudnya dengan contoh a difficult task. Sebagai contoh lah ya, nombor 1 tu a difficult task. Mana yang sama dengan sama maksud dengan a difficult task? A difficult task tu kerja yang susah. So mana yang lebih sama maksudnya? Mana mana perkataan yang sesuai? So a difficult task is okay, very good. It's a challenge. Okay, so letak je lah challenge. Begitu juga lah yang not injured, able or likely to cause death. Okay, buat sekejap macam begitu, okay? So next, E, discuss. Would you do any of these activities for charity? Why and why not? So adakah kamu maukah, macam Mr. tanya tadi kamu lah, kamu maukah buat aktiviti-aktiviti bayar ni? Macam kamu maukah skydive untuk kutip derma? So kamu bagilah jawapan kamu ya dekat situ. So yang ni tak kisahlah panjang ke pendek dari kamu sejak, tapi you guys can elaborate lah, try lah elaborate a little bit on that lah. Kenapa kamu mau buat, kenapa kamu tak mau buat. Kalau kamu mau bagi example, contohnya kamu mau buat some of these activities, kamu boleh bagi juga example. Contoh example activities apa? Kamu mau skydive ke? Kamu mau buat skydiving ke? Kamu buat skydiving ke? Kamu mau buat mountain climbing ke? Kamu mau buat benda-benda yang pelik sikit pun tak apa. Contohnya benda-benda pelik sikit, maybe kamu mau buat challenge macam apa? Berbasikal daripada Tawau sampai KK. Mungkin boleh juga. Okay? So, okay, next point. How important do you think it is to encourage young people to raise money for charities? What values can they be taught this way? So, in your opinion, important ke tidak untuk kita galakkan orang-orang muda untuk kutip derma untuk pusat-pusat kebajikan ni. Mestilah important kan? Mestilah important. So kalau tak ada derma, so pusat-pusat kebajikan ni kesian lah. Terpaksa tutup lah. So dorang pun kena kumpul duit. Sebab di charities organisation source of income, so sumber duit dorang daripada derma. So dorang ada dapat sedikit bantuan jugalah daripada kerajaan, tapi majority they get donations. So they get donations, okay? So what values can they be taught this way? So what values can they be taught this way? So one of those values is to be is to have compassion lah, to have compassion, to be kind, to be able to help people when they need. Okay, so it's okay for us to donate anything like clothes or anything, as long as we can help somebody who is in need. So itulah apa nilai-nilai murni yang kita boleh terapkan lah dengan generasi muda untuk diorang lebih sedar untuk menderma. Okay, so kita kenalah to be kind, to be able to realize, to be aware. Yeah, we need to raise the awareness of the young people to give help to these charities organizations lah. So okay, so C, D, and E. So nak kamu buatlah dekat kertas. Buat macam biasa, buat dekat kertas, tulis saja. Letak jawapan kamu situ. And then gambar. Lepas tu send dekat Telegram saya. Boleh? Okay, boleh. Okay, nice. Okay, very good. Okay. So ada apa-apa soalan dekat exercise tu? Ada apa-apa yang tak faham? Anything you guys don't understand, you can ask. Soalan C, D, and E, faham ah? Tahu ya apa yang mau dibuat? Okay. So ada perkataan-perkataan lain yang you guys tak faham? Tak ada juga kan? So it's okay lah. So kalau belum jumpa lagi perkataan-perkataan yang you guys tak faham, so you guys can check your dictionary. Boleh tengok di Google, tanya pakcik Google apa maksud dia. Kalau tak pun mau tanya saya pun boleh. Tanya saya. Nanti saya bagi tahu lah. Ya. Yeah? So okay, sekarang jam berapa sekarang? Okay. Ngam-ngam jam 11. So we have already arrived at the end of our lesson. It is already 11. So masa sejam sejak. So okay lah. So inilah kerja rumah kamu. C, D, and E. So esok kita tak ada kelas kan? Esok dah ada kelas. So kita jadual baru ya, PDPR. So kita ada kelas hari Selasa English. Kita ada kelas hari Selasa hari ni. Esok tak ada kelas. Khamis, Jumaat kita ada kelas. So dia sejam. So kita jumpa 3 kali satu minggu. Dan setiap satu minggu kita jumpa 1 jam lah. Tapi nantilah saya tengok sama ada saya mau gabung 2 jam ke atau mau buat sejam. Nanti apa-apa saya inform dekat grup lah. So okay, so I think that is all for our class today. So we have learned about the things people will do. Kita dah belajar tentang apa yang tajuk ni, the things people will do for charity. Kita dah belajar charity, kita dah belajar tentang si David Han, K. Matthews, Nicholas Swift, Alison Bishop. Ya, kita dah belajar how to raise charity in order to collect funds lah, in order to collect dana untuk pusat-pusat kebajikan. Ya. So okay, that is all for our class today. So okay lah, I see you guys on Thursday. Okay. Thank you for attending my class. We'll see you again. Okay. Goodbye everyone. Goodbye. Thank you masuk kelas walaupun 2 orang saya. Okay.